First off, congratulations, a first feature, and this is quite the accomplishment.
Yes, it's incredible. Thank you so much.
Would you guys mind just taking a brief moment to introduce yourselves to our viewers who might not know you?
I'm Yoann-Karl Whissell.
I'm François Simard.
And I'm Anouk Whissell, and we're all co-writers, co-directors for Turbo Kid.
Yeah, and we're a team from Montreal.
Yeah.
All right, so to start, can you guys tell me a little bit about coming up with the idea for Turbo Kid? Because you made a short for the ABCs of Death contest, right?
Yes, definitely. We've done a lot of short film with a lot of genre, action, horror, and we've never done a post-apocalyptic one. And as kids, we would love those films so much. Yeah, so we wanted to explore that universe.
Yeah, and we just thought that this contest was the best place to experiment it. So
did the whole idea and name of Turbo Kid specifically come from the having to line up with the T is for something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Totally, yeah.
It worked to your benefit then.
Yeah.
And after this, I wouldn't be surprised if they invited you guys to do a short for ABCs of Death 3, if that happens.
Oh, I'd love to. And since the end, the producer of ABCs of Death is producer on Turbo Kid, then I believe it's going to happen.
It would make sense.
So what exactly happened after T is for Turbo didn't win that contest? Did you guys kind of just go, all right, so let's just do a feature instead?
Ant Timpson called us in and wanted to know if we wanted to turn Turbo Kid into a feature. So, yeah, of course, we said yes. And Fantasia, the festival, had their first year for a co-production market. So we wrote the script in 3 weeks because of the deadline. Submitted it. We got in, and that's where we met our Canadian producer, Anne-Marie Gélinas.
And at that point, Jason Eisner
was already on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he helped us pitch at that market at Frontières. And yeah, that's where we met Anne-Marie Gélinas, our Canadian producer, and yeah, we were ready to do a co-production.
Yeah.
Can you guys talk a little bit about coming up with this whole post-apocalyptic atmosphere here?
I mean, we've watched so many of them, like from the time we were kids, and like we are really into like the Italian ripoff of Mad Max. Like they've done tons of them, and we love all of them. We love the music. We love the look of the costume, and
the whole aesthetic. Yeah.
The whole aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard to describe the movie. It's pretty unique. We can say that we wanted to play with nostalgia. We're kids that grew up in the 80s, and we wanted to like connect with other kids like us, like that like the same movies. Because it's also like it's kind of a Mad Max, but without cars, with BMX instead, with a lower budget, and there's gore in it, but there's also a very sweet side, a very heart to the story, and yeah, we wanted to like.
It was very important for us that that the story had a heart to it, because we can do gore, we know gore, but we wanted people to like love those two characters at the center of it. Because if you only do it with only gore, after half an hour, you disconnect from the story and you're just watching action on the screen.
You get bored, yeah.
Yeah, you get bored. So we wanted like to have a compelling love story at the center of that craziness. And
we're also huge fans of movies like The Goonies, Never Ending Story.
BMX Bandit.
BMX Bandit also, yeah.
BMX Bandit was a huge influence on us, especially on the colors we used for the film. Like being kids, we were obsessed by BMX Bandit. Like we had exactly the same BMX. It's really it's a love letter to the film we grew up on, like in the 80s. Oh my god, in the 80s, and it's not a spoof. We wanted it to be a genuine love letter to our childhood.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to laugh at that film.
Wanted it to be like some kind of a lost 80 kids movie that we just like uncovered and that nobody saw before. So,
It's funny. Right after I watched the movie, I sent in an email to tell people what I thought about it, and that's kind of exactly what I wrote, that I love splatterfest, fun type movies like that, but this one kind of stands out because has that extra added heart to it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So you were successful.
Oh, good,
Good.
good, awesome.
Cool.
I've interviewed a whole bunch of co-directors before where there's just 2 directors in the group, but 3 of you here. So can you tell me a little bit about your process on set?
I'll be usually I'll be with the actors. François will be with the technical team, and directors of directors. She goes to both teams with the actors and with me, and she directs us at the same time.
She makes sure that the information is
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think it's really clear to all the crew and cast which people they have to go to, because we don't want to have chaos or...
And we want to make sure that if you go to any one of us, you'll have exactly the same answer. Yeah. And that's the thing. We've been doing short together for 10 years, and we have developed like superpowers. Like we have a hive mind. Like we share a brain now.
Well, we always work like that. So for us, it's like...
It's second nature.
Yeah, it's just natural. Yeah.
A lot of people like it's like 3 directors. How does it work? What you made a feature and you're still friends? Yeah, we want to keep it that way. We like working together. I think it's our strength.
And the way our sets are done is that everybody is friends, and we build families, and like everyone on set were our brothers and sisters, and they all came and fought with us to make that film happen. So it is very important to us that everybody has fun, and because if you're not having fun, why are you doing it anyway?
That's a very good point. And now, can you talk a little bit about just the size of the production, too? Because what I see on screen, it's like I see all that crazy stuff and all the stunts and all the gore, and I'm like, that just can't be a first feature. So can you tell me a little bit about allocating the resources you might have had for this?
Oh, yeah. No, that was definitely a challenge. We shot on a very short schedule. We only had 22 days. And we couldn't have 10-hour days because we didn't have the budget. So we had 8-hour days. So,
like on paper, the productions make no sense. It's like a suicide, but
I mean, everybody like came on and saw what the potential of the project was, and they just said, "Okay, we're doing this. We're going to run with the camera. We're going to try to make this happen." And
I think it's you have to be creative just to be able to like make it without the big budget, and I think everybody did a great job at being creative and finding other resources. So
yeah, it's a pretty ambitious script, and to make that work, we had to make hard choices and sacrifices each day.
Yeah,
like we cut so much of the action, and we were kind of
and yet kept so much as well, which is incredible.
Well, at the end, we're very proud of the movie. Like I really see it as a test. Could we survive? Could we can we tell a story that is very like so much fun and compelling, even in the hard condition we had? And I think since we're here, I think
it came out pretty good.
How is it working with such a short schedule and all of that blood? Because you've got so many things that I imagine are special effects going on here. So how does it work with resetting? Were there a lot of situations where you kind of only had one shot to get something done?
You have to understand, like, because of the schedule, you have to understand that you have 1 shot or 2 shots to make it happen. You have to gamble. You gamble a lot. You hope that everything comes out perfectly. And apparently we're good gamblers. we got lucky.
We have to mention our actors, Munro Chambers, Laurence Leboeuf, Aaron Jeffrey, Edwin Wright, and of course Ironside. They were so cool and so talented that sometimes we were shooting and we only have time to 1 take or 2. And the first time, like
they were nailing it.
They were nailing it the first time. So we were very happy to have the chance to work with such amazing crew, amazing cast.
Amazing crew, amazing cast. I mean, everybody came together and fought for it. So it was amazing. And yeah, with practical effects, sometimes it's hard because you have blood that's splashing everywhere, and you have to do resets. But we're pretty lucky. Like the effects came out pretty good.
Oh yeah, even in the cold, it was so cold on the set. Sometimes the blood would freeze.
Yeah.
Or props would break.
Nice, especially when you'll see the film. For the people that hasn't seen it yet, well, most people haven't seen it yet, but we have seen in a pool, and in that pool it was about -20 Celsius. Like, it was brutal. It was so cold, and the blood froze in the pipes and wouldn't go out, and it was crazy.
I was looking at the end credits, and I have to know, how do you earn the title Blood Brothers? Were those just the people who were responsible for the blood?
They're a friend of ours that we've known forever, and they built a new rig only for Turbo Kid that spurs blood with pressure and everything and valves, and they knew exactly how much pressure they could put in. So we could even do the bullets effect, like without squibs, because with all their valves and everything, they're pretty clever guys, and we love them so much.
Yeah. Jib and Callow.
Jib and Callow,
that's
yeah.
the Blood Brother. And they also built a gore cannon.
Yes.
Which was amazing. Like, they were just spraying gore everywhere, and yeah.
You guys should manufacture some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I would buy a gore cannon, to be honest.
That's pretty cool.
Live up your party. Buy a gore cannon.
Can you guys tell me a little bit about finding Monroe? Because he is pretty incredible. You have so many fun elements of this film, but he has such like a natural charm to him that it really helps bring out the heart of the movie a lot.
Like the crazy thing is that we went for audition for Monroe's, and we went to Toronto and booked a whole day of audition, and he was the first one. So he came in super prepared, and he blows us away. Like, he's incredible. And so we all look at each other and go, "Oh wow, we got our kid!"
Yeah,
like,
he's the kid.
And we felt so bad for the rest of the kids coming in afterward.
Yeah, because there were lots of talented kids also that came, but yeah.
There was just something about Monroe. He's such a professional, and he's so good. And we like to build characters with the actor. Like, we see it as a collaboration. So he was bringing in his input, we're bringing our input, and he has always a thought on everything, every line, where his character mind is. And he's amazing. He's an amazing kid.
Good job,
yeah.
And how about working with Laurence? Because I don't really want to reveal what happens in the movie, but can you tell me a little bit about maybe some of the notes you guys would give her as actors, directors, so she kind of hit an appropriate balance?
Oh yeah, because it's a pretty out there character, and
but she just totally understood who that character was, and she was really prepared, and she even like pushed her like in ways we didn't even see her, but it's like she just became her.
Yeah, she became Apple.
Yeah,
she was
she's so
Apple.
talented. It's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's a huge star in Montreal, in Quebec, and I think we really wanted to work with her, and I guess like
it came true.
Yeah, we're so lucky to have her on board. Yeah.
And she's fantastic, and the energy she brings on set every day. She's just a bundle of joy. She's not only because her character Apple is very joyous and happy and over the top, but she's a little bit like that in real life. She's just like somebody that you want to hug and be best friend with.
All right, so the film hasn't even premiered yet, but you know, I've heard time and time again, you don't go to a film festival with a new film without having your next project kind of in your back pocket. So is there any idea you guys are toying with just in case someone wants it?
Yeah. We have a couple of ideas. We also received a grant to write our next film, which is really great. We got some film pitched to us. Some are very, very interesting. So, yeah, no, it's crazy. So,
yeah, we really want to have many projects in development, and yeah, we want to have a career. And I think being here is the best place to start.
Yeah.
And now you guys have a really distinct style in this film. Is that something you want to stick with or run with new types?
We want to experiment. We will revisit that. We want to do Turbo Kid too. Anyway, so we will revisit that style, but we want to try other styles as well. Like,
I would love to do a horror movie.
Yeah,
of course.
And yeah, we just want to have fun.
Well, you definitely achieved it with this one. And the way it ends, I would be very interested to see what happens in Turbo Kid 2. Or a Turbo Kid TV series.
Oh, yeah, that would
be fun as well.
awesome. Yeah. Would need to be on HBO for the violence, I believe. But, no, that would be incredible. Or even animation series. That would be great. Turbo Kid, the Sunday morning cartoon. That would traumatize young kids.